सप्लीमेंट्री।
महोदय, जब मैंने सवाल किया था कि सरकार 7% जो है विदेशी निवेश के लिए अनुमति दिया है, जिसमें हम ये कहना चाहेंगे, जब विपक्ष में भारतीय जनता पार्टी थी, नेता विपक्ष सुषमा स्वराज जी थी, उन्होंने कई बार हाउस बंद कराया कि हम 100% एफडीआई का विरोध करते हैं। मानवर बहुराष्ट्रीय कंपनियों को इससे लाभ मिलेगा, घरेलू उद्योग और श्रमिक बर्बाद हो जाएंगे, राष्ट्रवाद नहीं बहुराष्ट्रीय कंपनीवाद हो जाएगा। क्योंकि इन्होंने रक्षा में और तमाम चीज़ों में जो है इन्होंने 100% जो है 100% जो है एफडीआई के लिए समर्थन किया है। तो मानो इनसे सवाल करना चाहते हैं, क्या सरकार ने देश के मझोले और कुटीर उद्योगों में लगे कर्मचारियों को भविष्य के संबंध में मूल्यांकन करा है, जिसमें रोजगार की समस्या उत्पन्न हो सके? हम ये
थैंक यू।
हम ये कहना चाहते हैं
सवाल अब जवाब से,
जो लोग मझोले उद्योग, छोटे कुटीर उद्योग में जो लोग लगे हैं, क्या इन्होंने देश में सर्वे कराया है कि क्या उनका रोजगार सुरक्षित रहेगा या बेरोजगारी बढ़ेगी? इसके बारे में जानना चाहेंगे।
थैंक यू
सर। So honorable members' concern about if FDI is brought into this country, is it going to affect employment? I would like to tell the member that most of the time the consultations are held with all sectors concerned much before the announcements are made. So I will only have to state that the investment, greater the opportunity for employment generation.
Thank you. दूसरा प्रश्न।
मानवर जो हम उत्तर चाहते थे उन्होंने नहीं दिया, क्योंकि इन्होंने जैसे डिफेंस में, एयरलाइंस में, फार्मा में, फूड में, ई कॉमर्स में, बीमा में, इसमें सब में दे दिया है। जब दवाएं पूरे विदेश पर निर्भर हो जाएंगी, दवाएं महंगी हो जाएंगी, हमारा गरीब आदमी, किसानों का देश है, गरीब आदमी दवाएं महंगी नहीं खरीद सकता है। फूड जो हमारा उत्पादन करते हैं जो लोग, हमारे किसान लोग हैं, सारी विदेशी कंपनियां उसमें आ जाएंगी। तो हम इनसे पूछना चाहते हैं कि क्या माननीय मंत्री जी, इसमें जो उन्होंने उत्तर दिया है, तो हमें तो गोलमोल उत्तर मिला है, सही जो उत्तर हम मांगे थे उसमें नहीं दिया इन्होंने।
जो भाई सवाल पूछिए ना, अब
हम पूछ रहे हैं मानव, एफडीआई से रोजगार बढ़ने की बात हमने कही है, तो मानव
नहीं, आप प्रश्न पूछिए।
मैं इनसे ये पूछना चाहता हूं मंत्री जी से कि जो आपने रक्षा में एफडीआई 100% कर दिया है, तो क्या विदेशी नीति या आंतरिक सुरक्षा में क्या खतरा नहीं पैदा होगा? हम लोग हाउस में बैठे हैं, अगर आप इनकी निजी एजेंसियों को अनुमति दे देंगे, तो क्या विधानसभाओं में, लोकसभा में, हम जब विदेशी एजेंसियां आ जाएंगी तो उनके खिलाफ हम विधानसभा में, लोकसभा में बोल पाएंगे? क्या आंतरिक सुरक्षा खतरा नहीं होगा? इसके बारे में बताएं
सर। Opening up FDI for defense or for certain sensitive sectors, as the honorable member would want to, I understand that's the strain of the question. All undergo the due diligence in terms of who the owners are going to be, what is the kind of money which is coming in. Internal security related questions will be answered through the Home Ministry's due checking, and also the Defense Ministry does its own. So when we say whether it is automatic or through the government route, all processes for establishing the facts behind this investment and implications of security are duly done and the diligence is completed.
Thank you. श्री आनंद शर्मा भाई, हो गए? नहीं, आपका सवाल का जवाब हो गया, अब दूसरा सब प्रश्न चलने दीजिए।
इंग्लिश में है हमारा काम,
आप उसकी नोटिस दीजिए।
Sir,
जी,
through you, I would like to ask the Minister, and before I put my supplementary, I have something
supplementary,
to submit.
please, only.
So I have something to submit to you, sir, for your consideration. The answer
relating to this question.
Related to this question.
Right.
It also says that instead of listing the sectors in which FDI has been permitted, that's what the question is, 100%. Those have not been listed, but the members are advised to go to the site, DIPP site. Sir, this is, with all humility, this is disrespect to this House, discourtesy. This has been mentioned in the past, that when a specific query is that which sectors have been opened, 100% for FDI. That should have been answered. For further details, we can be advised, but this should not have been the answer.
I think there is an advisory on the subject already.
Sir.
We'll look into it.
Sir, so my supplementary pertains to the decisions taken by the cabinet to open up certain sectors for 100% and also pharmaceutical brownfield 74%. I have with me, sir, a press release from the Prime Minister's office the day these decisions were made, that with regard to defense, allowing FDI beyond 49%, which was the earlier policy, but the condition of access to state-of-art technology in the country has been done away with. So I would like the Honourable Minister to inform the House that why this decision was made, and secondly, for defense, earlier policy as notified was not only allowing FDI with FIPB scrutiny, but the final approval of the Cabinet Committee of Security. Now, whether that approval of CCS is notified or has that also been done away with?
Thank you.
And related query to this, sir, is the same, because of 100%, you have allowed in civil aviation sector. Now, there's issue of ownership and control when it comes to airlines, and the FDI policy definition of ownership and control is aligned with the Companies Act and with the SEBI definition of ownership and control. Now, if you allow 100%, even under the Aircrafts Act, there are going to be contradictions which you need to explain. And since this policy also allows 74% in brownfield pharma, there was a conscious decision earlier not to permit, given the takeover through mergers and acquisitions of critical injectables and oncology sectors, and in one particular case in cancer oncology, only one unit was left with the country, and that's why beyond 49% it was not permitted. You have allowed now 74% in brownfield pharma also. So all these three need to be explained to us. Thank you, sir.
Sir, the first thing about state of the art being dropped, I just want to draw the Honourable Member, former Minister of Commerce and Industry, that the earlier definition or earlier expressions used had 2 or 3 such mentions, such as cutting edge technology, state of the art, and modern. It was being increasingly felt that the files were going through ministries and we were looking at definition for each one of them. What is state of the art? What is cutting edge? And so on, and a lot of time was being wasted. Now what we've done in the process of simplification is to drop state of the art, cutting edge, but retained modern technology. Therefore, FDI, when it is being brought at a higher level, when it comes with technology, we have underlined that it comes with modern technology. So that addresses the question that we've not completely dropped everything to do with technology. We've just brought in a bit of a simplification. Instead of having 3, we've just got 1 to say it. The second, CCS approval. CCS approval will not be required anymore, even in defense. However, the process of approval itself will include Defense Ministry and Home Affairs, both of whom will go to all the details that which will have to be looked at from the point of view of the defense of the nation, security of the internal security, and every other matter which relates to the national security. And therefore, that has been done away with. Civil aviation. The clarity that I want to bring in here is wherever we were talking about 49% through the government approval route and 49%, over 49% through some other route, we only said that if it is possible, everything less than 49 would go through the automatic, and when it goes through the higher, it goes for the approval route. The last question about brownfield pharma. Sorry? Can I? Pharmaceuticals. Indian pharmaceuticals today are confident enough to run their business. They've captured the global standards. They are the leaders in generic medicines. And therefore, we wanted to give them a greater traction. We've had consultation with the industry, and it is only on the suggestions which have come from the industry that we've really opened up the brownfield and subsequently also the greenfield.
Shri Tapan Sen.
Sir Chairman, sir, my immediate reaction is, with so many provisions of quite liberally used automatic route, I don't know how far this due diligence on the areas that is needed. I am not in other commercial areas. How far it can be exercised, there is a doubt, particularly in the era of the philosophy of creative destruction. Let creative will go out and destruction will remain. Let us not face that situation. My specific question here, also my reaction response, that state of the art and modern is not one and the same. And particularly in the defense area, when we are asking for the state of the art, and modern is too vague to open the door of transferring their obsolete things in our soil. I think on that also appropriate review need to be required. And my specific question, in this house, while allowing FDI in retail, it was a hot debate, and that time you people are on that side. And we have been made to understand that we are unnecessarily opposing that. A provision of 30% sourcing from the domestic source has been kept to promote employment specifically. That is the route for promoting domestic employment. And now, has that been done away with? Very recently, in the matter of Apple, and it appears that once the door is open, it will be a big gate there in the days to come, that you are doing away with this condition of 30% domestic sourcing. So whole purpose, that's why I am telling you, it will no more be a creative destruction, it will be only destruction will remain and creative will go.
All right.
So please
Thank
respond
you.
to that.
Thank you.
Sir, I would like to put the member's question in a broad perspective and answer. In defense, yes, all of us are equally concerned. I appreciate the member's concern, but the decision-making people or the people who are going through the process of approvals are no less concerned, as much as the member, are equally concerned about the national security. They are not going to be looking at or overlooking some facts and then giving the approvals, not at all. The concern that we had in mind is very well explained by the fact that if we are spending huge amounts on purchase of equipment for the defense, is it not possible for us, being a large purchaser of defense equipment, is it not possible for us to invite these companies to come and produce in India and also not just supply for us, but any excess that would be produced other than what we buy be exported, thereby give an opportunity for India to generate employment and also create such investments which will eventually keep the money largely within India. So the intention with which these opening up, particularly about defense, is that we are spenders, huge spenders for defense equipment purchases from abroad. If it is only possible to have them produce it in India and supply for our requirements and over and above that create the jobs, it would be fine. And I'm sure all of us appreciate that people who are looking at the approvals are equally concerned about national security. The other question is number of modern and state-of-art is not being allowed in manufacturing, allowed to be manufactured in India and being imported at huge cost. We should keep that in mind. As regards the local sourcing requirement, Apple has not even come back to us for us to have approved anything. What we have just said is we have provided a relaxation. Sorry? We have just given a relaxation that in the first 3 years, if local sourcing for, let us say, their retail outlets is becoming difficult, the first 3 years be exempted, but the average that we calculate for the local sourcing requirement be applicable from after then for 5 years. So it is not as if we have completely dispensed that clause. We have only said give a breather for the first 3 years, we may do it afterwards. But let me put it on record here that our approach to Apple to explain what we have done as policy change or tweaking, we have not had any response as yet from Apple, so there's nothing that we have approved as yet.
Please, no discussion on this. Please, Mr. Tapan Sen, please.
Go through your party's speech.
Please.
Please debate in this.
That's a different matter.
Why
Sir.
change of heart?
Sir, let
No,
me
the
play.
heart does change its ways. Shri Anthony,
No.
FDI in defense cannot be treated on par with any other department because defense concerns our national security. That is why hitherto all governments, even after opening FDI defense, particular to go through all procedures carefully. That is why in regard defense, CCS, Cabinet Committee on Security, consisting of Prime Minister, Home Minister, Defense Minister, Finance Minister, External Affairs Minister. So all the important ministers, including the Prime Minister, they will have to go through carefully in allowing, clearing any decision concerning defense and home. This time, now you are opening FDI in defense without CCS clearance, without even CCS is informed. So you are opening up it. And that means anybody can come. You say lower level there will be scrutiny. That is callous. So you are opening up an FTA without CCS clearance. This will jeopardize our national security. That is the trend expressed by various people. Defense experts also. Another thing, doing away with the state of the art, you will repent in the long run. This will ultimately kill the initiative of the Indian scientist. Indigenous research and development will be the casualty. The first casualty will be our DRDO. Have you considered the DRDO about this new decision?
Sir, the honourable member has expressed his concern. I've heard it with due respects. I'm not sure if there is any particular question. The government has definitely consulted everybody much before taking the decision. So I will leave it at that.
thank you. Question 107. No, that's enough. Sharadji, we go to the next question. No, I'm sorry. I can't take more than 3 supplements. No, please. It has happened to you also. Prafulji, please.
107.
Prafulji, you had a question yesterday from what I see from record. It was not your initial question. No, I have a record. You had a question yesterday, so don't. And yesterday also, one party happened to get more than one question. Please, let me go to the next question. Please do, we'll have a discussion on it. It's a fit subject. Sharadji, please. नहीं शरद जी इसमें छोड़ दीजिए
ये आप कस्टोडियन हैं ये जवाब जो आया वो ठीक नहीं है
नहीं अगर जवाब ठीक नहीं है तो आप उसको there is a procedure for it. Question 16.
Yes.
No, listen, Praful ji, why, of course you are responsible, but please let me adhere to an established procedure. I know that.
We ask questions once in a while.
That's okay.
We can contribute. We don't ask questions just about
No, you
everything.
asked a question yesterday also.
That doesn't mean that I can't ask a question today.
No, I have to rotate questions.
I appreciate,
somebody
sir.
who's never. Why are we?
Sir, I also know when we
Why can't we have a discussion in my chamber?
No,
on
I
this
will
subject?
come, sir, but
Thank you.
I'm just, I have every right to at least voice my grievance.
Question 107.
107.
Let the answer be given.
Honorable Chairman, sir, missing of children and girls is a very serious matter. Whether Honorable Minister has any database to indicate from children, girls who are missed and recovered were forced into what kind of works by miscreants who abducted them. That would tell us about intentions and motives behind this.
Sir, there are various reasons by which the girl childs are taken away from home or they leave the home. And there are various methods also being adopted to prevent such unfortunate incidents. As the Honourable Member wanted to know specifically about where these children are being employed and all, what we have found is the recovery, the tracing of the missing children has been improving, especially since 2015, and there are efforts being made. So it's very difficult to find out where they have landed up, because once they are recovered and they are back with the family. But an analysis has been made how so many of children are missing, especially from the question was based on the National Capital Region. The Delhi Legal Service Authority had carried out a study which has found that 30.2% of children left on their own will. There are peer pressures, which is 14.5%. Elopement, it's 11.3%. Academic pressure, found to be 10.7%. Loss on the way, loss to the way, is 8.5%. Family circumstances, 8.2%. Scolded by parents, 7.2%. Unsound mind, which resulted in the missing of the children, 4.1%, and remaining 5%. So these are various reasons of children's missing in the large part of the country, but the figure which I am giving to you is the National Capital Region and including Delhi.
Second question.
Now, regarding the I am asking regarding the girls whose age was from 12 to 18, why they are missing so much every year?
Sir, in the main statement we have given the details of the total numbers of girl child, both male and female. We had given the figure. If I read out, it will be repeating because it is. Yeah, that's why what I've said is I have given you a combined reason for all those. Now, if you want to go for specific details beyond that, then we can definitely discuss about. But the primary, sir, what I just want to assure the Honourable Member that if we need further discussion, we will definitely. But the primary question which the Honourable Member posed is limited to the figure which I have provided. But still, I have given additional information about the reasons. Because those reasons we have not bifurcated into boys and girls. We have combined, taken all the figures of the children together.
Have you asked your second question?
He has.
You have. Shri Parvez Hashmi.
उन्होंने अभी ये कहा कि डिफरेंट रीजंस से बच्चे जो हैं वो घर छोड़ते हैं, पढ़ाई का प्रेशर होता है, इकोनॉमिक कोई प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं, नौकरी का रीज़न होता है। मैं सिर्फ ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि जो 8 साल तक के बच्चे हैं जो 850 मिसिंग रहे 14 में, 805 मिसिंग हुए 15 में, 361 मिसिंग है 16 में, अब तक जून 16 तक रिकवरी उन बच्चों की हुई जो आपने ट्रेस किया वो 694 हुए आउट ऑफ 850, 15 में 599 हुए आउट ऑफ 805, 16 में अप टू जून 224 हुए। तो क्या वजह है कि इन बच्चों को भी आप अभी तक ट्रेस नहीं कर पाए? मेरे समझ में ये आया है, जो मेरे सुनने में आया है कि पुलिस को आप फाइनेंशियल एड नहीं देते, कोई इस तरह का फंड आपके पास नहीं है कि जब उन्हें दिल्ली से बाहर कहीं जाना हो तो वो पेरेंट्स से कहते हैं जिनके बच्चे मिसिंग होते हैं कि आप टैक्सी ले आइए, आप ट्रेन का टिकट ले आइए, तब हम आपके साथ जाएंगे। क्या आपने कुछ इस तरह के फंड पुलिस स्टेशन को एलोकेट किया हुआ है कि मिसिंग बच्चों को जो दिल्ली से बाहर ट्रेस करने टीम जाती है वो उसको बियर कर सके और अपने पेरेंट्स के ऊपर बर्डन ना बने?
थैंक यू।
सर पूरे देश में एक व्यवस्था बना हुआ है और एक राज्य से दूसरे राज्य में अब कोई घटना होता है और जिससे किसी पुलिस टीम को वहाँ जाना पड़ता है तो उसका एक व्यवस्था बना हुआ है और वो संपर्क करते हैं और एक दूसरे को सलाह करते हैं और सहायता भी देते हैं। ऐसे नहीं कि वो आइसोलेशन में कोई काम करता है, ऐसे तो नहीं है। और माननीय सदस्य ने जो बात मूल रूप से जो रखा है उसको मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि बहुत सारा हमारे पास कार्यक्रम है। मैं अलग से भी ब्यौरा दे सकता हूँ, लेकिन मोटे मोटे पर मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि हम गृह मंत्रालय के माध्यम से बहुत सारा कार्यक्रम चलाता है। इसमें हम जो महिला और बाल विकास मंत्रालय को भी साथ में लेते हुए हम लोग के पास काफ़ी स्कीम्स है और ख़ास करके हम लोग जो आप एडिशनल बात में पूछ सकते हैं, जो हम लोगों के पास स्पेशल हेल्पलाइन भी है और उसके बाद में हमारे पास स्पेशल कार्यक्रम चलाता है। उसके मुताबिक वो सिर्फ एक पुलिस का तो है नहीं, और आप अगर स्पेशल फंड का अगर सिर्फ जिक्र ही करेंगे तो वो तो पूरा पिक्चर तो सामने में आएगा नहीं, क्योंकि रिकवरी इतना जो हुआ है उसको भी आप नज़रअंदाज नहीं करना चाहिए कि रिकवरी बट अच्छा है, लेकिन जो अनट्रेसेबल है, जो रिकवर नहीं हुआ है, वो बहुत चिंता की बात है। उसको हम मानते हैं कि जो भले ही वो कम परसेंटेज हो, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। बच्चे खो जाते हैं तो उसको किसी भी तरह से अपने परिवार के साथ में उसको मिलन होना चाहिए, ये हमारा कहना है। और फंड को लेकर के जो आपने चिंता जताया वो सही नहीं है। फंड नहीं है इसलिए कोई काम रुका है, ऐसा नहीं। फंड अवेलेबल है और इस काम के लिए पर्याप्त धन प्राप्त किया गया है, इसलिए ये आपको जो गलतफहमी हुआ है वो सही नहीं है। फंड की वजह से कोई केस रुका हुआ नहीं है।
श्रीमती जया बच्चन।
मंत्री जी ने अभी कहा कि बहुत से कारण होते हैं कि बच्चे घर से बाहर चले जाते हैं। अभी जो बच्चे आपको मिले हैं, जो मिसिंग किड्स हैं, जिनको आपने ऑलरेडी ट्रेस किया हुआ, हैव यू मैनेज्ड टू फाइंड आउट व्हाई दे हैव लेफ्ट होम एंड व्हाट इज द परसेंटेज ऑफ पीपल हु हैव लेफ्ट होम बिकॉज दे आर मेंटली नॉट स्टेबल, एंड हैव यू मेड एनी काइंड ऑफ
Honorable Member Jaya ji has pointed out a very important point in the whole issue. The percentage of course, those who are mentally unstable is less, but it is really worrisome. And we have appointed those juvenile welfare officer to closely coordinate with the units in the police station and to work with various NGOs. There are various NGOs who are being incorporated into the whole effort. So we are trying to not only rescue or track them back, but to prevent such incidents from happening, because National Capital Region alone has a large numbers of cases reported with regards to the children missing.
Shri Narendra Yadav.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chairman, sir. Through you, sir, I want to ask a supplementary which has 5 small parts. The reply which has been tabled today...
How many parts?
5.
5? I'm sorry. Only 1.
But they are all interconnected, sir.
No, then please raise 1.
Okay.
Don't say 5.
Okay.
I have to disallow them.
All right. Thank you. Sir, the report says the tabled reply states that there is 1 anti-human trafficking unit in each district and 1 in crime branch. If a child between 3 to 8 years is not recovered within 4 months, the case is transferred to AHTU of the district for specialized investigation, unquote. So my question, my supplementary is, how many such cases have been transferred to AHTU in last 3 years, and what has happened next? What are the outcomes of this? And is there any rehabilitation done for those children who are rescued? Finally, what is the government policy to prevent the human trafficking and make our country safer for our children? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, especially in Delhi, 70% of the missing children are recovered within a week. That is primarily because of the system in place. But as Honorable Member had asked about those who have been referred to a specialized unit, of course, that is, the number is less. However, we are assisting whatever is possible so that we can go to the root of the whole issue, because it involves so many things. Those cases which are able to be solved immediately, they are some of the reasons which I have cited. But those who are, linked with so many complicated things, like human trafficking, which Honorable Member mentioned about. For that, Home Ministry has constituted various committees, and there are legislative provisions also which is passed by this Honorable House, and there are various steps being taken. Now, if Honorable Member wants to know the percentage of those cases referred to the specialized unit, then I'll get back to the Honorable Member in due course of time.
Thank you. Question number 108.
Yes, sir.
Let the answer be given.
Supplementary slate on the table.
Supplementary, please.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the minister in the reply of 5 pages gives a good certificate to the Indian pharmaceutical companies in a very positive way. Sir, in the light of that, my supplementary, sir. Now this 74% in FDI this is the new 74% in FDI in pharma. Sir, the 75 can also go up to 100% by just having a cursory review by the FIPB. Sir, if you look at the standing committee recommendations of 2013, sir, it was very clearly mentioned there that this increase in FDI would take the cost of medicine prices would go up for the common man. Plus, sir, there is, for example, in Bengal, 48 to 77% discount is being given on medicines. Sir, my supplementary is, sir, what steps is the government taking to make medicines affordable and ensure that the domestic market is not affected by FDI, and the campaign which they call Make in India is actually become a campaign Take from India?
That's not a question.
So that's a comment to a question.
So just ask the question.
So my question, sir. Okay.
All right.
You want me to withdraw the slogan, then I will withdraw.
Yes, please do.
Thank you.
Please do. No slogans in question time.
So, thank you for explaining the question that was put with a lot of narrative. Controlling spurious drugs is a very important thing, because Indian pharmaceutical companies have achieved a certain stage internationally for producing quality goods. As we have said in the written answer, we don't maintain statistics about how many withdrawals have been made by our companies, whereas from the websites of those regulatory bodies in countries abroad where the imports happen, we have extracted some information which has been provided in the answer. The steps that we take, and because this industry has already achieved a certain level of international acceptance and quality, we have found that majority of the spurious drugs which are going around are unfortunately being manufactured elsewhere with countries from where using Made in India brand and the brand names which are used by the Indian pharmaceuticals, spurious drugs are being sent both within India and also exported to countries where we have an export. So the steps that we are taking are to ensure that quality medicine is available for Indians as much as when we export, quality medicines go abroad, because the brand image that Indian pharmaceuticals have created for themselves cannot be upset either for the Indian consumers or the patients or for people who want the imports.
Thank you. Second question.
Accept the answer on the quality from the minister. I appreciate that, sir. My second supplementary, sir, is cancer and thalassemia drugs. These are critical drugs, sir. Now, the exemptions which were granted by the CBEC from 5%, sir, that was removed. So since then it's gone from 0.5 to 10%, sir. So there's been an increase, sir, and these drugs for cancer and for thalassemia and many other critical drugs, sir. So this withdrawal of this exemption has created an impact. My question, sir, is what is the current status of these exemptions? And has the government taken any specific steps
to ensure that the prices of these, because 15 drugs, sir, were in fact withdrawn. 15 drugs, the exemption on these 15 drugs were withdrawn. So, sir, I have no questions on the quality. I accept that answer. But then, what steps will the government take to ensure that the critical drugs, as outlined by the WHO and the National List of Essential Medicines, for example, for cancer and thalassemia, are kept to affordable limits where everyone can afford it?
Thank you. In fact, regular and periodic consultations happen on this particular concern of life-saving drugs. The NPPA and the Ministry of Health regularly review and essentially trying to hold the prices of these life-saving drugs well under control so that it is made available and affordable for all. These periodic reviews are done in all seriousness, and I've participated in many of them, and we can only say that these reviews being done by Ministry of Health and the NPPA aims to ensure that such drugs are available and also at affordable rate.
Fine. Shri Shantaram Naik.
As far as sale of drugs is concerned, there is an important issue whereby through couriers, now sale of drugs is going on in a large scale, and there are objections from various companies. Established pharmacies also have protested because they don't have to pay tax, there are no liability, and established pharmacies business is affected. Secondly, we don't know what type of drugs are they, whether it is medicinal drugs or other type of drugs which are being couriered through courier services. Therefore, I would like to know whether are you thinking of any legislation to prevent or regulate selling of drugs through courier service?
The honourable member's concerns well taken, sir, but at the moment there is no consideration.
Thank you. Srimati Vijala Satyanan.
Our Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu has raised a strong voice against a concern against opening up of FDI in the retail sector and especially in the pharmaceuticals. And the point, my question is whether the government is visibly aware of the hazardous effects on the sale of medicines through internet. And I suppose that government is going to go ahead with the amendments in the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. And I want the government to focus thoroughly on the hazardous effects on the sale of medicines through internet, and it should be completely discouraged, and the whole of online internet marketing of drugs should be abolished.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, the previous question raised by Honourable Member Shantaram Naik also in a way refers to this only, and I have certainly tried addressing it. The Ministry of Health and the Indian regulator have both taken note of the web pharmacy issue, and it is they who are working towards seeing how this sector can be regulated. So I can only go that far in answering this question, in that the regulator and also the Ministry of Health are the concerned authorities looking into this matter.
Shri Sanjeev Kumar.
They are listed as Schedule H drugs, but at the same time they are listed as narcotics drug. So just I wanted to know from the Honourable Minister whether exports of these drugs, which are listed as Schedule H drugs, namely diazepam, lorazepam, Alflex and buprenorphine hydrochloride, are these drugs are being exported as and how these drugs are being exported? Is there any special license or the conditions there?
Just 1 minute. There are special licenses which will have to be obtained, sir, and those are periodically notified under the Narcotics Act, and the narcotics drugs are anyway regulated through the Ministry of Finance, which has a wing which takes care of the narcotics and such psychotropic drugs and therefore that is regulated by the notifications which periodically come from the Ministry of Finance, which manages the Narcotic Drugs Act.
Thank you. Question 109.
Chairman sir, in the reply, Honorable Minister has mentioned all total 13 numbers of insurgent groups of Assam with whom the suspension of operation agreement is there. Now, my question is, here two insurgent groups, namely Alpha, that is Alpha Assam, headed by Paresh Barua, and NDFB, headed by Sambijit Group. These two groups have no suspension of operation agreement is made till now. Whatever this suspension of operation agreement is made with these 13 insurgent groups that were done by the earlier Congress-led UPA government. Now my question to the NDA government, present NDA government, whether they have taken any initiative to bring to these insurgent groups, that is Alpha Assam and NDFBS, to the negotiating table and to have suspension of operation agreement.
Thank you.
Sir, in the month of December 23rd, 2014, the gruesome killing of innocent people of Adivasis by NDFB Songbijip group in Assam had led to an operation which was carried out jointly by the state forces, central forces, and we got support from the government of Bhutan also. So thereafter there's no question of any talk with the NDFB Songbijip group because they have carried out mass killings of innocent people. And we have already stated our position very clear that government is not averse to talk to the militants, but the only condition is they must abjure violence. Once they give up the arms, then definitely they will be welcome back to the fall of the mainstream. And with regards to Alpha, which is led by Paresh Barua, there is no formal offer, nothing, because he is also still engaged in violent activities, which is anti-national. So there is no proposal for talk with these two groups mentioned by Honorable Member.
Thank you. Second question.
My second supplementary question is this, that in the reply, Honorable Minister has said, mentioned about the government rule. I have asked about the rehabilitation program. Those who are staying in the designated camp. So Honorable Minister has replied that there is no rehabilitation scheme for the insurgents during the period of suspension of operations. All right. So now my question is, can the government cannot modify these rules, because the insurgent groups, those with whom suspension of operation has been signed, they are not, many of them not staying in designated camp team. So they are staying with their family and they are leading the normal lives. So if they allowed to go on like this, by paying only 3,000 rupees as maintenance per month, so it will not solve the problem of insurgency and they may go again underground. So my question is whether government can government not modify this rule and during suspension of operation also cannot take this rehabilitation program.
Thank you.
Sir, there are three processes. One is when we enter into a peace talk with a particular group. And then there we have a ceasefire. We have ceasefire with some of the groups. And then there are third category, which is the suspension of operation. So there are various categories during which government takes a position. And with regards to this surrender and rehabilitation steps which is being implemented by the Ministry of Home Affairs, we are in touch with the state governments. If state governments of the northeastern states, they are willing to do certain proactive steps, then Home Ministry is always there to support and take along the views of the state government. But during their stay in a particular designated camp, which I have not informed the Honourable Member because I have also stated that it is difficult to mention or disclose those destinations and those locations and all in details, which is not necessary for the security reason. But, yeah. So I appreciate honorable members' gesture. So during the period of their staying in designated camp, it is ensured that they do not venture out of those designated camps and involve in some other activities, illegal activities, or which is necessary activities for their livelihood, for which some amount of this money is provided for their maintenance. Above that, 1.5 lakh also is provided to the surrenderies. That is linked with the bank. When they get some certain loans from the bank, it is been linked with that. So we take certain steps, and in furtherance of that, if honorable members feel that we need to take certain steps, definitely we are welcome to the suggestions, and along with the suggestions or inputs coming from the state government, we will try to incorporate them.
Shri Devmari.
3,500 सर, ये आसाम और नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जो इंसर्जेंसी ग्रुप के साथ बात चल रहा है, ये बहुत ही सीरियस मामला है सर। आज 15 साल से भी ज्यादा वहाँ जो सीजफायर माने ग्रुप्स है उनके साथ बात कर रहा है, और कम से कम 4-5 साल बाकी लोगों का भी हो रहा है। तो ये विलम्ब होने के कारण वहाँ का जो सिचुएशन है वो बहुत ही माने लोगों के लिए माने अच्छा नहीं है। हर समय जो सीजफायर होकर बैठा रहा है, वो लोग कभी कभी अपने कैडर्स लोगों को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाता है, और सीजफायर होते हुए भी वो एंटी सोशल एक्टिविटी में जड़ित होता है। तो इसीलिए इन समस्याओं को जल्दी समाधान करने का जरूरी है। तो मैं देख रहा हूं कि आज इन समूह के साथ बात करते समय सरकार कभी कभी 6 महीना, कभी कभी सालों में एक बार ही बात करता है सर, और कुछ समूह के साथ आज तक 4-5 साल क्या है आलोचना नहीं हो रहा है, बैठक नहीं हो रहा है। तो ये होना नहीं चाहिए। मैं सोचता हूं ये सारी समस्या इतना बड़ा नहीं है नॉर्थ ईस्ट का। अगर केंद्रीय सरकार के तरफ से थोड़ा सा ध्यान देंगे, जैसे अभी आप देखिए बोडो लिबरेशन टाइगर नाम के एक वहां पर था जिसके साथ सरकार ने बात किया था, लेकिन 4 साल के अंदर एक सोल्यूशन पे आके उन लोगों को मेन स्ट्रीम पे ला सकता है। अगर एक समुदाय को ला सकता है तो बाकी को हम ला नहीं सकेंगे, ये बात नहीं है। तो मेरा प्रश्न है, क्या सरकार जितना जल्दी हो सके इन समूह के साथ जो बातचीत कर रहा है उसको एक टाइम फ्रेम करके समाधान करने के लिए कोशिश करेंगे? अगर जरूरत पड़े तो वहां के जो प्रतिनिधि हैं, अगर नॉर्थ ईस्ट के एमपी के साथ भी अगर होम मिनिस्ट्री की तरफ से बात करता है तो मैं सोचता हूं कुछ ना कुछ सजेशन सरकार को मिल सकता है, किस तरह की व्यवस्था लेने से वहां की जो विद्रोही समस्या है इस समस्या को परमानेंटली समाधान कर सकता है। धन्यवाद
सर। माननीय सदस्य ने सही कहा कि काफी साल से बातचीत चल रहा है और काफी विलंब भी हुआ है, और जो माननीय सदस्य खुद ही काफी प्रोसेस में इन्वॉल्व रहा है, वो और उनके जो नेता है, इन लोगों ने उस समय जो बीएलटी का सरेंडर होकर के पूरा अभी वो डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस में शुरू हुआ है, इसलिए इनके नेता और माननीय सदस्य को भी मैं जयमाली जी को भी बधाई देना चाहता हूं कि आप लोगों ने मुख्य धारा में आकर के आप खुद एमपी बन करके यहाँ आ गए। बाकी लोगों को भी हम लोग ये चाहते हैं कि वो भी मुख्य धारा में आए, और बातचीत जो है असम को लेकर के जो हम लोगों ने नुमाइंदे गृह मंत्री जी ने के साथ हम लोग उनसे बातचीत कर रहे हैं। हमें आश्वासन देना चाहता हूं कि सरकार की तरफ से विलंब नहीं आएगी, और आगे का प्रक्रिया को भी हम लोग और तेजी से बढ़ाने का आश्वासन देता हूं।
श्री कोजूर।
Chairman, sir. On 24 January 2012, 5 Adivasi outfits, namely ACMA, BCF, Santal Tiger Force, APA, and ANLA, had surrendered before the state government and central government at Guwahati with a view to seek solution to their grievances. Tripartite talks involving the representatives of the central government, government of Assam, and the 5 Adivasi outfits on their demands are going on. But sir, for more than 2 years, not a single discussion has been convened by the center. I want to know, is there any plan in near future to call these outfits for discussion?
Thank you.
Sir, as I have stated earlier also, the query being made by honorable member, he mentioned about the 3 groups of Adivasi Cobra military of Assam and all Adivasi National Liberation Army and Adivasi People's Army. We have made our position very clear that we are in a very cooperative mood whenever any of these members of the insurgent group led by their leader are giving up the arms or laying before the government. There's no problem from the government side. But sometimes they seem to be coming forward, but at the same time they carry some kind of undesirable activities which is resulting in the situation being damaged. The good atmosphere being created is being damaged by some of the undesirable acts, which we want to prevent that. If any group, they are sincere to come forward to talk and surrender for the government, then they must do wholesome, and they should not do in part also. Some of the, I must mention to the honorable member that many of the cases, the small groups, they say we are going to talk to the government, then they create another group, splinter group, and they continue to carry forward the act of violence. That should not happen. If any group wants to talk with the government, they must do it sincerely so that there can be a lasting, peaceful solution.
Shrimati CM.
Sir, some of these extremist groups from Assam, they have taken shelter in Meghalaya also, sir, because we are very close borders, and they create lots of problems. I just want to know, is the government aware of it? If so, what step you are taking to prevent from this? This is the only question, sir, I want to know from the Home Minister.
Sir, the honorable member knows that 20 kilometers along the lines of Meghalaya-Assam border, the Armed Forces Special Powers Act has been imposed. And despite the order of the High Court to impose AFSPA in the Garo Hills of Meghalaya, still we had taken a very considerate view that it is not ripe yet to impose that law, which many people criticize that it's very, very tough law. And because of the insurgent groups of Assam also enter into Meghalaya and vice versa, so we have put that law 20 kilometers along the border. But that is subject to review after every 6 months. So there are cases that the territory of Meghalaya has been used by the insurgent groups of Assam. We have realized that, but both the governments are cooperating very well. Presently, the state government of Assam as well as the state government of Meghalaya, both are cooperating with the government of India, and the Home Ministry is taking a lead and is happy to inform the honorable member that the incidents have come down and there is a visible improvement in the total law and order situation, both in Assam as well as in Meghalaya.
Thank you. Question 110.
माननीय सभापति जी,
Yes.
आपके माध्यम से माननीय गृह मंत्री जी से जानना चाहूंगा कि केंद्र सरकार ने केंद्रीय पुलिस बलों की 104 बटालियनें नक्सल प्रभावित इलाकों में तैनात की है। सरकार मानती है कि वॉरलाइक सिचुएशन है। सरकार का यह भी दावा है कि इन इलाकों में शांति आई है। क्या यह शांति अधिक केंद्रीय बलों की तैनाती के कारण है या इन इलाकों में विकास धरातल पर पहुंचा है? सूचना है कि सरकार कुछ जिलों को नक्सल मुक्त जिला घोषित कर रही, इसका आधार क्या है और वे जिले किस राज्य के कौन से जिले हैं?
ये जो माननीय सदस्य ने पूछा है कि जो जहां सिचुएशन इंप्रूव हुआ है वो केंद्र सरकार का अतिरिक्त बल वहां पे डिप्लॉय करने से और राज्य सरकार का पुलिस का उनका व्यवस्था है उनको ठीक करने से ये मिला जुला असर होता है। और उसके सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि जो डेवलपमेंटल वोट्स जो कैरी करता है सरकार की तरफ से, क्योंकि हम लोग मानते हैं कि ये नक्सल जो मामला है, माओवादी जो अभियान चला रहे हैं, इसका समाधान जो है विकास ही है। इसलिए गांव-गांव तक जब तक विकास नहीं पहुंचेगा तब तक ये समस्या रहेगा। इसलिए सबसे बड़ा इसमें अगर योगदान है तो विकास का कार्य पिछली सरकार ने भी चलाया और उसको बल देते हुए हमारी जो सरकार आए इसने भी चलाया। इसके माध्यम से जो जितना भी जो माओवादी प्रभावित इलाका है उसमें कमी आया है। और अगर कोई जिले को, जो माननीय सदस्य ने पूछा कि अगर उसका जो LWE प्रभावित से मुफ्त डिक्लेयर करना है तो उसका एक प्रक्रिया है। अभी तो 106 जिले हैं 10 राज्यों में और 35 वोट्स इफेक्टेड डिस्ट्रिक्ट है। उसमें अगर कोई बदलाव होना है तो ओवरऑल सिचुएशन को देख करके बदलाव लेता है। इसलिए अभी मैं उसका जिले का नाम अभी यहाँ खुलासा नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि अभी जो निर्णय नहीं हुआ है।
दूसरा प्रश्न
मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि मेरा पहला सवाल जो था यह था कि पुलिस बल की उपस्थिति से डर के कारण सिचुएशन वहां शांतिपूर्ण है या सचमुच विकास हुआ है, जिसका उत्तर नहीं मिला। मेरा दूसरा सप्लीमेंट्री है कि केंद्र सरकार का गृह मंत्रालय नक्सल प्रभावित 88 पिछड़े जिलों को सालाना लगभग 30 करोड़ की अतिरिक्त राशि एडिशनल सेंट्रल असिस्टेंट विकास के लिए देता है। इस खर्च की उपलब्धियां क्या है कि क्या इस खर्च का मूल्यांकन ऑडिट किसी तीसरे या इंडिपेंडेंट एजेंसी से कराया गया है? सरकार जिन जिलों को नक्सल मुक्त घोषित करने वाली है, क्या इसके बाद भी उन जिलों को यह विकास की राशि, अतिरिक्त राशि मिलती रहेगी?
सर, माननीय सदस्य जी ने जो पूछा है विकास को लेकर के, मैंने पहले भी बताया कि विकास के बिना समाधान हो नहीं सकता है। इसलिए वो विकास तो मुख्य हमारा प्रोजेक्ट रहा है। और जितना भी जो पैसे यहाँ से देते हैं केंद्र सरकार, जो एडिशनल सेंट्रल असिस्टेंस देते हैं, अलग अलग प्रोजेक्ट कंपोनेंट्स है, उसको डिटेल में अभी चर्चा नहीं कर सकता। उसका बराबर समय समय पर रिव्यू लेते रहते हैं। और हमारे गृह मंत्री राजनाथ सिंह जी ने ये जो प्रभावित लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म इफेक्टेड एरिया के लिए उनके मुख्यमंत्रियों से अलग बैठक बुलाया, उनके डीजी और चीफ सेक्रेटरीज का भी अलग से बैठक बुलाया। और जितने भी जो राशि दान दिए हैं उसका लागत कैसे हो रहा है उसका भी समय समय पर उसको अकाउंटेबिलिटी और उसका ट्रांसपेरेंसी के साथ होना चाहिए। इसका रिव्यू मीटिंग होते रहते हैं।
श्री मोहंती।
Sir, I would like to know whether it is a fact that the Home Ministry has deployed additional central force to contain the Naxal activities in Jharkhand, due to which those Naxalites are crossing borders and seeking refuge in Odisha. If it is a fact, then how does the Home Ministry expect to carry out the development activities in Odisha? Thank you, sir.
See, whenever additional central forces are being deployed, it is only on the basis of the need as being projected by the respective state governments. Now, the operational area is depending on how the situation warrants. That is why we cannot say that the forces should move to this area or not to that area. It is very, very conditional as per the need of the time. But beyond that, if forces is crossing to some other border and all, that speculation, I cannot make any statement right now. But our forces are...
It is a fact, sir. It is a fact that those Naxalites are actually crossing borders and entering Odisha.
This possibility can't be ruled out.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's why I'm saying that the possibility cannot be ruled out.
Actions must be taken from your side.
We are taking
to carry
the
out the
action.
development activities in Odisha, sir.
We are taking the action. That is why the problem is coming down. If you see the problems few years back and now, it has really come down. The total numbers of surrender of the Maoists, if you see the figure, I can provide you later.
But those refugees are increasing the number.
Sir,
please let him conclude.
I think honorable member wants to know more. I will discuss with him later on also. But primarily whatever he wanted to know, I have provided the answer that security forces are working together with the state forces and they are doing great service to the nation by giving up their full time in the national duty.
Sir, I expect a clear discussion with him later.
You're taking too much time. Shri Balmachu.
सर, आपके माध्यम से मैं मंत्री से पूछना चाहता हूं कि
I'm afraid question hour is over. House is adjourned till 2 p.m.
Thank you.